My birthday. We're going to take an extra collection today. Our normal collection doesn't do much, so maybe we'll try a second collection.
I thought your birthday was every day this month.
Every day, yep, we celebrate it for the whole month.
Yeah.
How lucky you are.
We were in Frankenmuth yesterday celebrating our birthday.
Well, that's way to
One of
go.
my favorite places.
Yeah.
Mine
too. Yeah, mine too.
Actually, it's Memorial Day weekend, and a lot of people get the different holidays that recognize the people that have served our country confused. Memorial Day is actually the day when we honor our war dead, those who gave their life for our country, for our freedom. We can't forget that freedom is never free. And I don't know if you realize this or not, but over 2.8 million soldiers, men and women, have died in the service of our country. There's also about 40,000 plus missing soldiers that have never been accounted for. On top of that, assumed dead. And the American Civil War was the most deadliest of all wars, where about 655,000 deaths occurred during the Civil War. World War II was our second deadly encounter, where 405,399 deaths occurred.
Wow.
World War I was our third highest death count, with 116,516 deaths. Vietnam, from 55 to 75, 20-year Vietnam War, 58,220 deaths. The Korean War, just before the Vietnam War, from 50 to 53, 1950 to 1953, 36,574 deaths. The American Revolution, 4,435 deaths. That was the first war from 1775 to 1783. And then in the Iraq-related wars from 2003 to 2021, there was 4,605 deaths. The war in Afghanistan, from 2001 to 2021, there was 2,459 deaths. In the Persian Gulf War from 1990 to 91, there was 382 deaths. Like I said, total, you're looking at the death count of more than almost 3 million, 2,800,000 and some thousand. There's a few wars that, like the Civil War, it's not an exact count, so there's some estimating there, but 655,000 is a pretty accurate estimate based on most historians. Pretty crazy, but that's nothing against life. The war on children has killed 63 million, and the majority of those are children of color. Sadly, abortion has killed 63 million Americans. And that's only from 1973, when Roe versus Wade was approved. And even now that Roe versus Wade has been struck down, there's still more than 1 million abortions that happen every year in America. And so it didn't stop it, it just changed it. And Michigan, with the 3 wicked witches that run Michigan, pushed forward Proposal 3 a couple years ago. Michigan has one of the most liberal abortion policies in America, where you can deliver a baby at 9 months, or you can kill a baby in the womb at 9 months. It doesn't matter. It's not a baby until, they don't think it's a baby until it's born, which is crazy. Do you realize that after 18 days a baby has a heartbeat? And they say it's not a life. So they need to go back to biology class or something. I'm not sure. They kind of twist science in their own way. In light of a couple recent developments, though, I do want to talk to you about a couple issues of church business. For a number of years, we were pursuing Sacred Heart Church in Roseville to purchase it and make it a second location for Harvest Time. And there was extensive vandalism. There was a lightning strike. After we made our purchase agreement, there was a lightning strike that damaged the building because scrappers had stole the diffusion cord. There was a 1-inch copper cable that went from the bell tower into the ground to diffuse energy if it was hit by lightning. And the bell tower was actually a lightning rod where the cross was. Lightning did hit the church, and because somebody stole the copper diffusion line, it blew the roof out on the bell tower, which caused extensive damage. But then the roof was made up of these tiny tiles, and those tiles fractured and then clogged the drainage system and then flooded the basement of the church. We asked the Archdiocese of Detroit on multiple occasions after we made our purchase agreement and put down a significant deposit to purchase the building and have a contract to purchase the building. We told them to deliver the church to us in the same condition that it was when we signed our purchase agreement. They're self-insured, so they didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to do it to the extent of the damages. And then some kids entered the church on multiple occasions and did additional damage to the church. They discharged about 38 fire extinguishers all over the church, and so there was that powder all over the church. And then they used the fire extinguishers as battering rams and smashed the stained glass windows and also the leaded glass within the church. And then the church, so we were avoiding litigation with the Archdiocese for some time. And then finally last year when Sheets showed up and said they wanted that particular property, the Archdiocese transferred the property from one corporation entity to another, and they claimed that they invalidated our contract. And so last summer, Harvest Time actually sued the Archdiocese of Detroit for performance of the contract that we had underlying. And in response to that, they removed the entire roof off the church and took the doors off the church, removed further stained glass windows that weren't smashed from the church. And so the church was pretty much a hot mess. I saw some videos of that just recently, and because the church didn't have a roof, I mean, it caused mold and further destruction of the plaster and paint. And our church entered into a contract with the Archdiocese of Detroit. I can't give you the details of it, but it's a confidential agreement that I signed just recently, where we gave up our rights to litigation and settled the issue. And so Sacred Heart Church is going to come down at some point in time and become a Sheets gas station, unfortunately. And like I said, we entered into a confidential agreement to settle our claims with the Archdiocese of Detroit, so that ends our pursuit of that. The building is just beyond repair. We thought that the building would need about $1 million worth of repairs. It's probably multiple millions of dollars of repairs at this point in time, if you can even find a craftsman to replace some of the stained glass and leaded glass windows and artwork that had been destroyed. So that resolves that particular issue. I just wanted to tell you that. Also, in light of the family meeting idea this morning, I want to tell you that based on the religious persecution that the city of Warren has caused against our church here in Warren, after many months of working with our attorneys, this past week, Harvest Time Christian Fellowship filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Warren. They stole our property, they removed our trucks and vans from our church and then sold them without our consent. Those were vehicles that were owned by the church, listed as at this address as their lawful place of being. It's funny because just a couple years ago, in August of 2023, the previous mayor gave the church a proclamation thanking us for the work that we do in the city, and said that we do more work as a church than any other church in the city,
Right.
in the whole city.
Right. Yeah.
No other church does more work or good work, doesn't do as much as Harvest Time. And then we got a new mayor, and it went from hero to zero. Then the city decided that they were going to attack our church for whatever reasons. They just hate Jesus and they hate us. And so finally, we put together all the different things that culminated up through a couple weeks ago, and we filed a 119-page lawsuit
Wow.
against the city of Warren.
I think.
119 pages of all the deeds that they did against our church, taking our property, harassing us. They violated our First Amendment rights to the free exercise of religion. They tried to shut down our pantry. They put deed restrictions on our property and have taken us to court in Macomb County Court to take our property, our physical property, through unlawful actions of the city. And so it cost us thousands and thousands of dollars to fight the city. Plus, just in the last year, we had about $17,000 worth of fines that the church was penalized for made up silliness and religious harassment.
Right.
They violated federal law. They violated the civil rights laws, the Elliott Larson Act of the state of Michigan. And they violated the federal constitution and also violated the state constitution and our constitutional rights for the free exercise of religion. So you'll probably see some things in the media in the coming days about that, and it's going to probably become a pretty significant issue for the city, and also put the spotlight on our church. So I just wanted to give you guys the first heads up on that. And it's not going to be easy. It's probably going to take multiple years to resolve the litigation with the city, but we're in it for the long haul. And this year is our 35th anniversary, so I'm not sure it's going to take 35 years to resolve, but whatever it takes, we're in it for the fight. And I'm not going to back down. I have big shoulders. You may have noticed, and we'll take on the city, the mayor, and whoever else we have to take on. And we have the right in America to exercise religion and have our ministries, food pantry, which is an extension of our ministries, and teach biblical truth. The world doesn't want to hear about Jesus. The world doesn't want to hear about biblical truth, but I stand for both of those things very strongly. And as far as I'm concerned, it's worth the fight.
Right.
They brought the fight to us, and we'll finish the fight with them. So I'm continuing my